Good morning and welcome to the 2024 Meta Hacker Cup live stream. I'll be your host, David Harmeyer, and I'm joined here by Hari, who we'll introduce in just a sec. We have a wonderful scoreboard to reveal to you guys, and we'll do that after a few words here from Hari.
All right, thank you, David. It's so exciting to see all of you participate in Hacker Cup 2024. We really care about programming as a craft, and it is energizing to see people like you take it to the next level. Meta is a hacker company. We consider building our core value. We are what we are because of our engineering culture. David was just telling me that we had 22,000 contestants for the human round and 600 for the AI round. While AI solved, 44% of the problems, 12 of the 27 problems. It did faster than humans, of course, but at least for now, human ingenuity is still winning. Humans are solving more than 100% of the problems. You guys are the best of the best, and we love you all. We know that you all, the Hacker Cup participants, have a significantly higher chance of passing the Meta engineering interviews. We are always hiring, and we are looking for the best engineering talent to come work for us. So I do hope that some of you will take time to apply and come work for us. You have beaten 22,000 other contestants and 5 multi-billion-dollar LLMs to get here. So without further delay, let's jump into the results. Let's look at the top 25 contestants. David, take it from here.
All right, thanks so much. Yeah, let's take a look at the top 25 finalists that we've got today on the scoreboard. These top 25 finalists, they have competed with the first 5 rounds of the contest here. Are we able to get their graphic up? Hopefully. All right, here we go. There we go. We got pictures of all of our finalists. These finalists have been able to make it through the first 4 rounds of contest. And by doing so, they've earned a spot in the Hacker Cup finals. We're going to take a look at the scoreboard here. We'll be revealing one by one each of the submissions that's happened over the past 5 hours. These submissions, contestants almost always don't know the results of these submissions. For a couple of them, they do for specific reasons. Some of those are their presentation errors, or they just didn't upload their submission in time. But we'll take a look at those and reveal how people ended up placing. All right, let's head to the scoreboard here. Look at the very first submission in the contest from Neil. This wasn't the first one chronologically. This is the first one we'll look at. Neil submitted to A, which was the most submitted to problem that we've seen, with an AC on it, putting him on the board in first place for now. I'll note what you have to do in order to move up here is not only solve the problems, but also solve them quickly. So Neil solved A in 33 minutes. That gives him 33 minutes of penalty point time. And the more penalty point time you have, the lower you'll perform relative to others who've solved the same number of points. So you can see here, Ling has also solved A. He's in second for now. And Mazpai has also solved A in, now down to fourth at 48 minutes. We had 6 problems today that these contestants competed with. Of them, we've had submissions to every problem and quite a few to A. We've seen our first wrong submission here from Arvin on B. That was the first one that he chose to go through. Getting problems wrong is scary because unlike a lot of online coding contests, in Hacker Cup, you don't know the results of your submission when you make it. We had a really scary problem earlier this year, Connect 4, which involved doing some very difficult analysis of a completed Connect 4 board. And it only had a 5% correct rate of the people who submitted and thought they had gotten it correct. Only 5% ended up actually doing so. A lot of submissions from A here, one from Harris and one more from Igor. After that, we're going to stop for a minute and talk about problem A. Problem A was called duplicate order. You may be familiar with the idea of a Hamming distance between 2 strings. This is the number of positions where 2 strings are different. So if you have ABC and BBC, that would be just the first letter would be where those are different. And in this, we're talking about ham order, which is the same thing as Hamming order, just a little play on words. You're given 2 strings and some distances from the first string and from the second string. You want to know how many strings exist that are the same distance, or that are within the first distance of the first string, within the second distance of the second string. It's a pretty mathy problem. It looks like it's string theory, but it ends up not using many of the common string theory techniques. And it's more just an array and combinatorics problem. All right, let's head back to the scoreboard with Zishian TLE's solution to problem A. Sorry, just kidding. Slime solution to problem B. Slime gets B correct. You'll notice that this green is darker than all of the other ones. That's because Slime was the first of any contestant to correctly solve problem B. Hirotaka on A with another AC. Ainta on A gets it right. So far, we've seen nothing but ACs on A. This is somewhat predictable because A is mostly just a formula problem. If you're able to come up with the right formula and write it, it's pretty straightforward. Although, of course, getting that formula is quite the task. Ryotaro on A gets it right. Ivan on A, also right. Votek on A, also correct. One thing to note here, although A is 16 points, not every problem is worth 16 points. A, B, and C each are. D and E are worth 17, and F was worth 18 in this contest. So if any contestant solved just problem F, for example, that would put them in first place for now, assuming no one ends up solving two problems, which is a very unlikely assumption. We've got Rainbow here. He's the lowest Code Forces rated contestant on the scoreboard today. He's the only one to have never reached International Grandmaster. He, of course, has a very unusual strategy for competing. He solves problems usually from hardest to easiest. Didn't do so today. We've got Kevin Sun with a dark green on A. This is, in fact, the dark green of the contest. This is the first submission ever to happen. Gennady on A. He's our reigning champ. He gets it right, but he's gotten B wrong. B's looking like a tough problem so far with a 50% correct rate, it looks like. Raidwush on A moves him up to 8th place. Yui's the first one to take on D. He gets the dark green for problem D with his first submit. This is, in fact, the first problem that was solved that was never solved by an AI. So if you had AI and humans together, this would be the first human dark green, because A ended up getting solved by AI here. Arvin on problem D gets it correct. Hirotaka on B. Let's take a look at the submit here. Looks like it's right. Mazpai, one submit left on E. He gets it right. Well done, Mazpai. Ling on D. Seems to be right. Zishan appears the only contestant to have submitted to every problem. Second submission to B. It's right, moving him up into 4th place with 32 points. Constantine, one of our few contestants, in addition to Rainboy, who has never been LGM. Today we've had 14 LGMs competing, 9 ex-LGMs, 1 Rainboy, and Constantine, who's on Code Forces, a international grandmaster, I believe. Speaking of Rainboy, he's got an AC on B. We have our 25th place finalist here, able to solve a problem, one of these very difficult problems. It's an impressive feat that everyone was able to solve at least one problem here. Neil placing 24th is a strong showing. I believe Neil was placed very, very well earlier on in one of the earlier contests. Andrew He, our champion from 2 years ago, on problem A, he gets it right, moving him into 6th place. Slime, everybody's favorite, a juggler at North American Programming Championship, into 4th place here. Gennady, the fan favorite, with a wrong answer on D, seeing if he can pull through. Gets an AC on D, or sorry, wrong answer on B. AC on D, putting him into 1st place for now. Ivan with the submission on B. That's an AC. We're going to pause here and take a look at what this problem B was. This problem B was called Distributed Server. It involved a bunch of robot servers, kind of the server you might be thinking of, giving food to different people, setting the theme for this year's contest, Meta Snacker Cup. Every problem was food themed. So in this problem, the robots had to move throughout a restaurant. They were only allowed to move down and right. And when they made these moves, they were never allowed to run into another robot, but they were all moving at the same time. So the question was, what is the biggest, value these robots can get if every time they step on some tile in this restaurant, they add that to their list of things that they've collected so far. We were interested in the lexicographically biggest one, and a lot of contestants had different approaches to this. The one that ended up being most successful was modeling this as water flowing through pipes, which is a pretty novel idea. It shows up in very unexpected ways, and that's what we ended up doing for problem B here. Min cost max flow. We also saw contestants do some incorrect things. For example, I believe tourists tried a DP solution, didn't quite pay off, and it's not obvious initially why the greedy doesn't quite work, but there are some cases you can come up with that break any greedy solution to this problem here. All right, let's go back to the scoreboard. We got Yuhao Apiad with his submission to problem B, I believe. He's in 23rd place so far. Gets an AC, moves him up from 23rd into 7th. Raidwush on B. It's an AC. Well done, Raidwush. Into 11th place so far. He's got 3 more submits to go, though, so quite a bit of running room. Mola Mola on B. That's an AC. Votek on B. That's an AC as well. A and B seem to be the 2 most approachable problems for a lot of contestants. That's kind of in line with what we expected. To be honest, as judges, we thought C would be more approachable too, but people shied away from that quite a bit. Igor on D, it's an AC. Maxim on B, another AC. Dreaming of a green scoreboard. Daytona Node on B, that's an AC. Moving up. Ben Q on B. Well done, Ben. We got Kaysun on B as well. Kaysun with the dark green on A, an AC on B. 3 more submits to go for C through F. Or sorry, C through E. Excuse me. Yui on A, that's an AC. Yui's second completed problem. Because Yui solved D, which was worth 17 points instead of 16, that moves him all the way into first. Hirotaka on E, it's an AC. Despite his wrong answer on D, he still has 1 more for C, so we'll see how that goes later. Constantine, ABC, 3 correct submissions. It's our first contestant ever first contestant, of the year to correctly solve everything that they have attempted. Ilya on D gets it. Let's take a pause here, talk about problem D. Problem D was called Sushi Platter. Again, very, very food themed. The idea was you're given 2 different types of sushi. One type of sushi is a little bit cheaper and maybe not quite as good, but you can have a lot more of them. And the other is a very expensive type of sushi. I don't know much about sushi myself, but there are different types. And you want to arrange these in some platter so that the order of eating them is very appetizing. You're interested in how many ways are there of ordering all of these pieces of sushi, where the difference in tastinesses between adjacent pieces is at most some cap. Now, this is a very interesting problem. It's pretty clear from the onset that you're going to do something with dynamic programming, but finding a way of doing it that's reasonably fast and just kind of works and is mathematically correct is the difficult part. A lot of these finalists, they're very familiar with dynamic programming, so they were able to latch on and go quickly on that. Raidwush on problem D, he gets it. We've got Eknerwala choosing to do E first. He was one of the few contestants who didn't go after D after getting A and D. He moves to second with his 17-point AC on problem E. Mala Mala with an AC on D into 4th place. And Zishianzong on D, TLE, but an AC here. Quite a few more D submissions. And at this moment, you might pause and think, hang on a sec, there are a lot of ACs here. These questions look really easy. Well, we're going to pause for a minute and have you take a mental snapshot of how well you think the best AIs in the world would do on these questions. You have to keep in mind, these are some of the hardest questions that exist. These are the hardest Hacker Cup questions of the year. And of these best 25 programmers in the world here, a lot of them were struggling for solving these. So despite all of these being correct, take a mental snapshot right now of what you think AI would do when competing with these problems. Would it be able to get anything? I guess I've already said it would. It was able to get A at least. All right, let's keep going. Go check on D. AC, well done. Yvonne on D. Another AC. We only have 4 more D submissions to be revealed, so we're almost done with that, and then we can move forward here. All right, we have our very first F submission from Slime. It's an AC. Congratulations, Slime. We'll talk about F in a bit. Let's keep going here. Daytona Node on D. Well done. That's an AC. We got Ben Q also on D. Will he make a third wrong answer for us? No, Ben Q survives. Well-coded DP. Works correctly. Kason on D, he's done probably 1,000 dynamic programming problems in his time. Aces it. Well done. With that, we have places 25 through 21 figured out. Igor moves up from 20 to 2nd. Gennady, our fan favorite, last year's champion, with an AC on E, the only tourist-rated competitor in the world at the moment. Yui with an AC on B, moves up to 5th place. Hirotaka on C, that's an AC. Let's pause and talk about problem C here. Problem C was called chicken tender. It was an unusual problem in that it was a geometry that had very small bounds and didn't really care how slow your code was. We also had very small max dimensions for where the points in this problem can be. And in it, you were given a convex chicken tender. So it was a chicken tender that's a polygon. It was a convex shape, and you were interested in what is the perfect chicken tender for you to serve your guests. In particular, for each chicken tender, is it something that you can dip into the bottom of your dipping sauce? So if you have a dipping sauce that's like basically just a rectangle with a missing top, so it has some width, some height, are you able to dip this and have the chicken tender reach all the way to the bottom to touch the very last bits of dipping sauce? Certain chicken tenders might be too wide, they might not fit. And in this one, not only do you have to see if you can reach it, but you have to consider all possible ways of rotating that. Now, I think one of the reasons that many contestants chose to shy away from problem C was we were very strict with precision. You had to get the precision exactly right. And when you're rotating points, precision can be very scary, right? So there were a couple observations that I think we might talk to some of our top 5 later about how they chose to go about doing that. For now, we'll head back to the scoreboard with Rainboy on his 4th correct submission to problem E, moving him into 1st place. We have Andrew He, the final submission to problem D to be evaluated. It's right, giving us only 2 wrong answers and 2 non-submissions. They didn't submit within their 6-minute time limit here. Yvonne with an AC on E, and Votek with one more submission on E. Let's pause here. Let's talk about what problem E was. Problem E was called snake cover. You may remember from, I think it was 3 years ago, we had a snake problem where a snake was inspecting ladders at metal platforms, renamed from Facebolk. Since then, we've had another snake, this one, released into the kitchen, and now there's a snake in my fruit. So in order to make sure the guests are happy, what you have to do is find the time within some range that you can put a piece of Tupperware on top of the snake and trap it, and then take it outside safely. So the snake is moving like you do in a snake video game, up, down, left, right. Pretty classical, but the problem is the snake moves very many spaces over a long period of time. So you have to really make sure your code runs efficiently, and analyze the different way that the bounding box of the snake changes as the snake moves. So it was a fun problem. I think it was somewhat unique in my opinion, but I guess we'll see what some of the other finalists think in a bit. We got Raidwish with the submission on E. That's an AC, moving him into 1st place for now. Ainta with dark green on problem C. Final submission there. Final submission from Yuhao. An AC on E, moving him quite a bit higher because D and E, again, both are worth 17 points. Tealy on E, that's the dark green on problem E. Also, TLE's fourth problem to solve. So kind of a surprising dark green in that respect. Not something that was an early target. Kevin with a submission on E. So far, we've seen only one wrong answer there by Harris. An AC on E from Kevin. Yui on E. That's an AC. Well done. Ben Q on problem E. Moving him from 16th all the way to 1st. We have a very few number of submissions left here. We got Gennady, our reigning champ, with his chance to move back into 1st place. This would give him exactly 66 66 points, but it's only enough to move him into 6th. With that, we have our top 10 finalists decided in some order, as you can see on this wonderful graphic with all of their beautiful faces here. Of these top 10, we have Ben Q, Yui, Kevin, Kasun, Zishan, TLE, Yu Hao, Gennady, Raidwush, Eknerwala, and Rainboy. You can see Ben Q from his commercial where he was our winner from a couple years ago in his Hacker Cup shirt, and of all of our other wonderful finalists who were able to do so well today. It's a huge accomplishment to do this. These contestants are competing against, like Hari mentioned, over 22,000 other competitors. So being able to make it to the top 10, it's very impressive. And solve these problems, which are some of the hardest problems that people at Meta were able to come up with in such a short time. As a quick reminder, these contestants, they've only had 4 hours to see these problems and solve as many as they can. In comparison, in the AI tracks, for the closed AI track, AI had 10 minutes of time to read, think about, and process these. Obviously, AI is much faster than humans, able to type at lightning speed. But yeah, very, very, very speedy contest. All right, we've got Rainboy with a submit on problem C. Let's see how these top 10 shake out. In 10th place, we have Votek. 9th place, we have Rainboy, but with one submit left, is he able to move up? He is. That moves him into 1st for now. We have 8th place on problem F, Raidwush, and a couple more submits before we'll see the final results here. TLE with a dark green also on problem F. With that, we have only a couple submits left. We've got Kevin on C. This is worth 16 points, so not enough for him to overtake TLE, but enough to move him into 3rd. Yui on F. Is he able to get it? We haven't seen any wrong answers so far, and still don't. Moving Yui into 1st place for now with 2 submissions remaining. We also have Ben Q's submission on C. There's a 16-point value, Ben Q, AC on A through E. And with that, we have our top 5 contestants here. We were able to get all of them on Zoom, so we'll pull them up, and you can see them live. Congratulations, folks, on a wonderful performance and making it to the finals here. It's great to see all you guys. We'll move to the top 5. With 5th place, we have Kevin's son, who was able to get 84 points, the dark green of the contest, which yields, of course, eternal glory, and his $1,000 prize. Congratulations, Kevin. Kevin, I've got a question for you. Are you able to hear me here?
Yeah. What's up?
Here we go. All right. Wonderful, Kevin. Kevin, here's my question. If you had to take a guess, how many of these problems do you think an AI system could correctly solve?
Hmm. That's an interesting question. Some of the problems were pretty hard today, so maybe just two problems. I don't know.
Which two, if you had to guess?
At least for today's AIs.
Yeah. Which ones do you think are most approachable?
Say, maybe just A and B. I'm not really sure though.
It's a good guess. In some sense, I think it's correct. We'll take a look back at the scoreboard here, and I will show you what the AI scoreboard ended up looking like. We had ACs on A and on F by AI contested submissions. Now, here's the funny thing. This submission on F, this comes with a really big asterisk. The submission on F, when the AI contestants are given the problems, they're also given their full input. So they're able to look at all of the test data. It turns out what the AI was able to do here is actually find a weakness in our test data. So we didn't sufficiently test against a particular type of TLE case. We did test against quite a few TLE cases, but there was one that we didn't break, and that was the one that this AI was able to find and get problem F correct. So congratulations to all of the AI competitors. You were 100% right, Kevin, when you said two problems. They were able to solve one problem completely legitimately, which was problem A. But although the scoreboard looks like a green wall, if you look at the human contestants, in the AI track, there was a lot more wrong answers happening here. All right, well, thank you, Kevin. We'll jump back into the view of Kevin here. Congratulations once again on your wonderful finish. And it was great to get to talk to you today. All right, with that, we have our fourth place finisher, Ben Q. Welcome back, Ben.
Hello.
And congratulations on your $3,000 prize. Ben, you've made some suggestions recently about the ordering of problem point values. I wanted to ask you what you thought about the point values today and why you chose to go after C, the geometry problem that was a little bit easier, when you could have gone after F, which was 1 point more.
Actually, I was going after F in like the last hour. I had solved like C before that, but I hadn't submitted because I wasn't sure if it was correct or not. So like in the end, I was.
Oh really? Okay.
I was trying to finish up my solution for F, but didn't quite make it there.
Were you worried that a bunch of these would be like very tight cases for C, or that things would be very close to perfect but not quite work?
I actually like have no idea like why my solution passed. Like I feel like there's a lot of places they could have went wrong, so I'm like very surprised it passed.
What was your approach?
Basically take two of the segments, two of the sides of the polygon, and then a third point in between them, and then like consider only that case.
Okay, and were you like ternary searching the rotation?
But yeah, but I had no
Those two
clue
sides?
whether
Okay.
or not.
It turns out because the point values are so small and there aren't really that many different convex holes you can get, it's limited in like the ability to break stuff. But it's always possible we miss something as well. Well, thank you, Ben. Congratulations once again on your $3,000 prize here. And with that, we also have our third place finisher decided by the scoreboard. That is Raidwush. Congratulations, Raidwush. And you'll be going home with $5,000. Yeah, I can hear you. Wonderful. All right, I do have something for you here. You have, of course, won IOI Gold. You've won an ICPC Gold medal. You've written the Blogwush blogs on Code Forces, which I think are a fan favorite. And interestingly, you've been a Meta Hacker Cup finalist since 2018, back when it was Facebook Hacker Cup, every single year. That is remarkably consistent. If you ask any other finalist here, it's very tough to get in the top 25. Do you have any advice to others on how to be consistent like this, or do you think a large part of it is just luck?
I think luck always takes part a little bit, but like some time ago, actually a lot of time ago, I realized that becoming better is not about improving your upper bound on a problem that you can solve, but actually improving your lower bound. So instead of creating opportunities to solve some very hard problem, you should remove possibilities that you won't solve something easy. And I think that's really can push you through, and this is the way to get better and better.
I think that's great advice. And like, as that's one of the things that applies to even people who are learning new problems as well. Do you have any recommendations for them on things they can do to try and win a t-shirt next year? For those of us who haven't?
I think everybody has the same advice, and it's solve problems, like problems from previous Hacker Cups or from other competitions. There are a lot of, so just practice and practice.
Well, thanks so much, Raidwish. It was great to see you. We're looking forward to another Blogwish if they come out. And yeah, thanks again.
Thank you.
All right, we have one submission left. We'll head back to the scoreboard. This is the one everyone is eagerly awaiting. One submission from TLE. Now, we talk about a perfect set. And a perfect set is a set that we define as a set where every problem gets solved. No person solves every problem, and every person solves at least one problem. Now, you can see here that everyone has solved a problem. Everyone's gotten at least A, for example. And currently, every problem's been solved. A has been solved, B has been solved, C has been solved, D has been solved, E has been solved, and F has been solved. But no one has the elusive 100 points. The judges who wrote the problem set, if they're able to stop TLE from getting problem C here, they would have created what we call a perfect set. And TLE, if he's able to solve problem C, would have solved the entire set probably within the 4-hour time period. I mean, certainly within the 4-hour time period, and been done early, have finished early. So this submission tells us whether TLE wins or the judges win, and also, even more importantly, whether TLE becomes our next Meta Hacker Cup champion, or Yui is able to hold his spot. Let's take a look at the submission here. We've got an AC on problem C for Yui with 12 hours of penalty points, putting him at 100 total points. That, I guess, uniquely determines our second place finisher. Yui, congratulations, Yui, on your second place finish. I know it was it's tough to see that, but there you go. What is that you've got here?
Oh, my rabbit friends.
Wonderful. I see you got a bunch of them. Very, very, very cool. We've got some problems about rabbits, actually. I don't know if you can see behind me. We got some rabbits with Hacker Cup shirts and stuff too. Yui, you made a very strategic decision here to go after F and not C. Did you end up thinking about C at all, or did you see that F would be more important in the contest strategy?
Both happened. When I look at the standings, I thought I should go to F, and also I checked C's validation test cases, and it contained very few cases, and it looks very tricky for me. So I went to F, and finally I had about 25 minutes left for C, but I couldn't get some reasonable idea. So yeah.
One of the things that we noticed here was there were some contestants from Japan who were surprisingly fast at solving problem D. We looked into it. We were able to find there was a similar problem, I think, about skyscrapers that was somewhat similar to problem D on a Japanese IOI set. Had you ever heard of that one before or no?
Yeah, skyscrapers was one of the experience for me, and actually I recently solved a very similar problem in Chinese judge to this problem D, so I reused some part of my codes, and yeah, that was.
Oh, wonderful! So you even had like a starting point too.
Yeah.
Did the five very tasty sushi pieces pose at all a challenge, or were you able to adapt your solution directly?
Yeah. So I can reuse the DP part of the Chipa sushi. So yeah, the remaining part was just easy.
And then write a brute force on top of it.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. We had initially designed designed that problem to involve like some Fibonacci numbers, and there were constraints about that. That ended up not being quite what we went with, just because of some runtime trickiness. But overall, yeah, it's a very interesting problem, and we were able to find that similarity after the fact. But a cool problem nonetheless. Well, thank you so much, Yui. And with that, I think we have a winner.
Thank you.
Zishin, congratulations. In 2022, you got 11th place. In 2023, you got 14th place. This year, you ended up winning Meta Hacker Cup. You've also been an ICPC medalist, gold medalist in 2022, medalist in 2024. And you go by, correct me if I'm wrong, TLE and Fizzy JQ?
Sorry, just TLE.
Oh, just TLE? Okay, sounds good.
Oh, yeah,
well,
yeah, both are okay. Yeah, both are okay.
Both are okay? All right.
Yeah.
Well, wonderful. What were your thoughts on the contest today? You ended up executing flawlessly and quickly.
Yeah, I think personally, I think I'm very, very lucky today. Like, I know like I have been pretty unlucky in the previous few contests, but today I'm having very lucky, I guess. Like, for example, like I think in D, or is that E? Oh, I think it's E. When I try to calculate the minimum of the quadratic function, I actually calculated the roots, but it ended up working. So yeah, I guess I'm very lucky today. About the set, well, personally, it's not my favorite set, but it's okay.
A lot of implementation, you think?
Yeah, like in my ICPT team, I'm usually the person who implements all the dirty stuff, all the geometry stuff, stuff like that, data structure stuff, and this happens to be pretty close to this set, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess there happened to be a lot of geometry, a good amount of combinatorics, and yeah, a lot of coding today.
Yeah.
You also got a dark green on F. You were the first. I guess let's bring up the slide for F real quick if we can. The problem F was called pizza broiler. You had a triangular pizza that you had to cook on a circular grill or broiler or something, and you were interested in the number of lattice points these pizza slices covered. So it was a very unusual geometry problem. Maybe not unusual, but it involved lattice points in triangles and circle intersection. Quite a messy problem. What was your strategy for doing this? The judges, by the way, took a look at your code and said that you were the least sketchy approach to problem F. You were the most legit solution. So what did you end up doing to try and solve it here?
Yeah, I think everyone is probably just trying the same thing. So basically what I do is like I try to find all the Ys that are like interesting. So basically all the intersections, all the points, and in between, it should be like the left and the right should be like either from a circle or from a segment, and you can use either a prefix sum or the Euclidean. And I think I just wrote it very carefully because I thought nobody's going to see. And turns out it's possible. But yeah, I just wrote it very, very carefully. And like, for example, in each floating point number, I'll always keep the integer copy, and I always round up and round down very carefully. And it seems it's not very necessary, but it seems good. It seems like it's the safest path, I guess. Yeah.
We did end up having, we had one issue with the judge solution on F last night, actually. I was surprised nobody ran into a similar one. But we ended up fixing it. We had like a second solution just to make sure everything was right. We were able to catch it. Well, thank you so much, TLE. It was great to have you. Congratulations once again on your $20,000 grand prize.
Thank you so much.
With that, we want to thank everyone who competed this year. We had, again, over 20,000 people register for round 1. And a ton of people register for the AI track as well. This is the first year we've ever done an AI track, so it was great to see what the state-of-the-art models are able to do compared to the best humans in the world. Well, thank you once again for participating. We'll end it here. And remember, if you're interested in applying to jobs at Meta, you can go to metacareers.com, apply to whatever you think is the best fit for you. And stay tuned next year for your chance to win another t-shirt or maybe qualify for the finals yourself. That's all.